Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Natalia and we're just gonna get straight into this video. Recently, the 2020 Emmy nominations were announced and sparked yet another interesting conversation across the internet. Everything seemed to pop off when actor and comedian John Leguizamo, who I have loved and supported for years, tweeted out. So it was a screenshot of the LA Times article that says, Emmy 2020, Black nominees gain ground, Latino representation still abysmal. And then he tweeted that and he wrote, why can't we Latinx have a piece of the pie? We are the largest ethnic group in America and missing as if we didn't exist. And as you can imagine, that didn't really bode well for people. This back and forth conversation between the Black and Latinx community regarding representation has come to light in the last few years thanks to social media, and it's one that everyone should be paying attention to. The question of do Latinos get enough representation is a valid one, but it's not just about whether or not they get nominated for the roles that they play. Latinos don't get enough representation because the world thinks that Latinos only look like this, or like this, and this. And when people hear Latinos calling for more representation, most people mean more of that. Also, the expansion of more roles actually built and written for Latinos is only becoming more frequent now within recent times. I mean, even J-Lo has had most of her major roles be white passing or ambiguous characters. I've had the conversation before about Afro-Latinos on my channel, and we're about to do it again. Because the same way J-Lo has needed to play these other roles, so have Afro-Latinos. Let's take it back a bit and look at telenovelas, for example. I mean, we all grew up watching them. From Mariela del Barrio to Teresa to some of the new ones that I don't even know about, but my mom still watches. How many Afro-Latino telenovela stars can you name? I will wait. And it's not just the Afro-Latino representation that's missing. Where's the indigenous Mexican or Colombian representation? I use those two in particular because those are the types of novelas that seem to transfer the most over to American TV. But honestly, this is all across Latin America. I grew up in El Barrio in New York City, and let me tell you, none of my Mexican friends, nor the Mexicans in the neighborhood, look like the ones you see on TV. And where are these indigenous people, you ask? Well, they're playing the maids, they're playing the nannies, they're playing the members of the cartel. So it does stretch across from Afro-Latino to indigenous people beyond just the white passing Latinos. Now, taking it back to the original topic of this video, do Latinos need more representation on TV and in movies? Of course we do. Of course we want to share our culture, our food, our music, but you shouldn't have to look a certain way in order to be considered a representative. You know, I want to mention something that I saw on TikTok that really pissed me off. Now, it was an interview with Noah Centineo. If you're not familiar with him, he has done a few movies for Netflix, including To All the Boys I've Loved Before, which I love, but that's beside the point. The reporter asked him, oh, I've heard that you're like part Puerto Rican or something. Mind you, I'm ad-libbing, but I've heard that you're part Puerto Rican or something. Like, how's that? He literally says that his team told him that it would be better if they could market him as Latino. So what does he do? He goes to Ancestry.com, the free version where you literally just go online and search. He searched his name, went a few generations back, and found probably the tiniest ounce of Puerto Rican lineage and said, boom, all right, I'm Puerto Rican. Go and Google Noah Centineo, Puerto Rican, and you will see that it is literally in his bio now. And the sad part is I'm absolutely sure that he is not the only entertainer to have done this. He's just the only one who's admitted it. And why is this a problem? Well, whenever there's a role that's written for a Latino, then here comes Noah Centineo. I mean, he's part Puerto Rican. There's your representation. And this has happened for years. One of the most obvious and beloved cinema characters, Tony Montana from Scarface, a Cuban, was played by Al Pacino. I mean, these roles of the non-fitting people playing a certain type of role has happened for generations. Now, if this is a problem for white passing Latinos, imagine how the Afro-Latino community feels, where almost zero roles are written and based off of them. And when they are to be fought for or celebrated, unfortunately, a lot of people just stay quiet. You know, one name that keeps coming up in this Emmy conversation is Jerome, who won an Emmy last year for Outstanding Lead Actor in a Limited Series for his unbelievably raw and emotional portrayal of Corey Weiss, the Central Park 5 victim, in Netflix's When They See Us, which if you haven't watched, you need to get out of that rock that you're living under and go and watch it. It will do you some good. Anyway, Jerome is Dominican from the Bronx, and I can assure you that if you come to New York City, most of the Dominicans that you see look like him. The reason he's being brought up so much is because of the lack of appreciation and acknowledgement for such a huge accomplishment made by a Black Latino actor. It seemed as if he was forgotten about and just lumped in with the African American community and not part of the Latinx community where he fits. The question wasn't, why could we have this last year and not again this year? It was, when are we gonna get a piece of the pie? As if such a huge accomplishment wasn't made just the year prior. That is truly what we need more of. More praise for the Black and dark brown folks who also represent you. More Latinx-based roles spread across evenly so the world can get this notion out of their head that a Latino isn't a Latino if they don't look a certain way. From young, it's instilled in our brains that we're not Black, we're Puerto Rican, we're Dominican, we're Cuban, etc. And we're taught to leave that side out because they're not good enough, they're not pretty enough, they're not us. But the truth is, we are them. When we see Black faces on the screen, we need to praise it all. We're seeing a piece of ourselves, if only minus the part that we speak and understand Spanish, because that is our skin, that's our hair, those are our body types on the big screen. I really want to know what your thoughts are on this. I'm someone who's considered myself an Afro-Latina and I've gotten backlash for it. I've been told that I'm not an Afro-Latina because I'm not dark enough, that I'm not a white passing Latina because I'm obviously not white enough. And people like me struggle to fit in this conversation, but this is how I feel and this is how I identify. I really want to know what you guys think in the comments down below because I think that there's a really important time to be having these conversations and I want to know how you feel. So go ahead and do that down below. Also, do not forget to hit that subscribe button and I will talk to you guys soon. Thank you so much. Bye.